have a feeling you'll need some popcorns today. Today we're going to tell lots and lots of stories, mainly on mental health and stuff like that. So why don't you grab some popcorns, but make sure you stay here with me. Hello there, I'm Nicole Hanselman. Really thank you for being here. Please subscribe, and if you have already, turn on your notification. Today's video is just a follow-up on last video. It's turning into a series because really I talked about mental health, and we all know how wide mental health is. I hope we do know how wide mental health is. You can sum it up in 5 minutes and say, okay, it's a wrap, done, go. No, it's not gonna happen. And we've established that I'm big on mental health. It's not rocket science. So yeah, I'm so happy to do this. And today, the excited and happy me is back. The last video was a little bit different. I want to say it was uncomfortable, but it was different in the sense that I was trying, there's a lot of things that was going on in my head. One, are people ready? Are people ready to talk about this stigmatized topic, And then the other thing I was thinking, what? How can I package this? How can I package this? There are people who might be in a vulnerable state now, tipping point, and then they just want one last trigger, and there they are, boom, boom. There's that going on. And I was also a little bit emotional, even that I didn't want to show it. This is a topic that was close to my heart. It wasn't my story to tell as well. So I'm thinking, this is not my story. I'm feeling emotional about it. What do I do? But it needs to be spoken about. Somebody needs to be the voice of, the people who are not ready to talk yet. Right? So the video had to be done. So it was, I can say it was a success. Why? I did get some feedback, positive feedback, and something positive came out of it. Well, Iveta, thank you. This lovely lady gave me a number of a lovely lady, Rhonda. She's in Kenya, and she helps people for free. If you're going through a certain thing in your life, you're in a certain point in your life, and you want somebody to speak to, yes, she's your person. At the end of the video, I'm going to share her number. And also, at the end of the video, I'm going to share a link for people in England who are going through, whatever, and they need help. I'll share a link for that. So there's Rhonda number for people in Kenya, and the link for people in UK for our mental well-being. And that's not it. I'll also share some apps at the end of the video. They will help with different things in your life, different points in your life. I've shared videos before of what I use for my meditation, but this one will be for a lot of different things. Well researched by a good friend of mine, Isaiah. Thank you. So, let's go to today's topic. Still on mental health. I want to share my story because that's all I know. That's all I can talk about. I can tell it however I want. I'll be biased. There's somebody involved in this story, but I'm telling it my way. It's my story. Okay, so down to my story. Some time back, many years ago, around 2011, I lost my dad, and I didn't really have so many close friends in my life. I had friends we could go out with, have some drinks. Those are the friends I had. And you kind of think they're your friends, but you realize that probably not, because when I lost my dad, I didn't get people coming over and just being there with me. No, I didn't get that. I didn't get the phone calls. No, I didn't get that. In fact, the closest I got was somebody telling me, if you need me, tell me, you come over. Yes, that happened. And then the other thing that happened was, hi, do you want to go out this weekend? Did you hear that part where my dad passed away? It will get your mind off things. That's when I realized I probably don't have friends. So I just I started being really, really careful with the people I have around me. But anyway, so after that, though, I used to chat online with this person. I started chatting online with this person. I'd known him before. And we were talking, and he was in the middle of a divorce. And like, oh, I can't believe you're still single, a beautiful girl. You know, we've all had that. And we kind of like it. So it was the normal one, but we usually look at which lie do we want to fall for? So yeah, it got me at a time that I wanted to fall for his lies. And you know, there's something about vulnerable, intelligent women. We kind of fall for these things. I don't know whether they smell it from miles. I don't know, but you later on you're thinking, am I that stupid? Probably. Probably. But anyway, this guy would chat me up. It was January, I think, of 2011, and we'll chat and chat. He'll call and we'll talk for long periods of time, and we just felt like we had known each other forever and we were meant to be. The usuals. So come about March there, he's like, I'm coming, I would like to live in England. He was coming from a different country, and he came with his son. It was half of his family. If that makes sense. So he did come, and just before he came, was like, oh, prepare the place, make it nice for a big family, for our family. We start a family together. And I was excited. I told my workmates about, will I make a good stepmom? You know, you're doing your research. And you know, you're just making sure, am I still normal to settle down with somebody? You just want those people to tell you those nice things, and people are telling you nice things. Yeah, I reckon you can, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's nice for you, anyone's ego and self-esteem. So there was that, and you okay. The first time he sent me some money, yes, I'm admitting that he did send me some money to spice up the home. So I did spend the money on spicing up the home, but it's not enough. It wasn't enough, and they're like, okay, you just choose your card. You know, we'll work this together. We'll find it. We'll talk about finance. We'll talk about everything. You know, the kind of person you sit down and talk about everything. That was really nice. Really nice. I changed. So yeah, I'm like that, spending on his advising on the things I could get. Went to IKEA, bought the whole store. Came home. So by the time he got here with his son, the place wasn't finished. So we'll continue finishing, but in between that, phone calls, the dramas. Yeah, I'm not saying he was a bad guy or anything, but so you'll be there, phone calls, oh, my lawyer this, my lawyer that, you know, because of that. Then I start realizing, and then something starts revealing itself, like, oh, you know, I wasn't completely divorced. My wife wants this. Anyway, you know, I actually thought he was at the end of the divorce or divorced, you know. So he was there and talking, but when he left, at the time he wanted to leave, he was here for just about 3 days, 1 week, and by the time he was ready to leave, he didn't have money again because of, you know, it's between and in the middle of a divorce, and there's all those paperwork, and you're like, okay, I need to go, can you pay for my flight? We're still, you know, trusting each other. I paid for that flight with a credit card. Then he goes. There he goes, and once he leaves, that's when the wife manages to contact me. And now I realize, okay, somebody left his house, still a married dude. Wife packed his stuff knowing that he's going for a business trip. And according to the wife, it wasn't strange for him to go with his son. So she didn't think about it. And then, unfortunately, because you can understand her temper, she was like, she said everything she could say. And it was becoming too much. But when he left, I realized, you know what? I don't want him either. Keep him. I don't want somebody who lied to me like that. Keep him. So I finished with him. But just before we finished, he had made me buy a car. We needed a family car to be doing all these family trips together. So I bought this big car that I didn't need, you know, with finance. It was my first car. He was helping me advise me on what to get. And then what happens? That's when the accident happened there. After he's gone, my birthday was coming. There was this little stresses about the finances. What am I going to do? One very close friend of mine, yeah, bless her heart, she had told me, you know what, why don't you return some of these things and get your money back? And that's what we did. We returned a lot of the things we had not opened, anything we could take back. We took back, trying to recover some of my money. But there I was, stressed about this money, stressed about having it stupid. I've told so many people, about me. Oh, sadly. So there's that, and then the accident happens, and then my son breaks his collarbone. Enough was enough. I just had it. I went to this dark place. I couldn't take it anymore. I went to my GP feeling really low. I just didn't want to wake up anymore. I didn't know how I'm going to deal with this on my own. And that's when I went to my GP, for the first time in years, I cried buckets. I cried. And I cried. I was never the person who cried much. I'll cry, don't get me wrong, I'll cry when I'm watching a sad movie and stuff, but just me crying, let's say for instance there was a death or anything, I'll be the person who, look at the situation and think, okay, let me be the strongest person of the group. I'll always be the person who's conscious about letting out the emotions. I'm not saying I'm proud of this, we need to let it out. I'm not saying, but I've become a little bit robotic. You become robotic, you're always uptight about showing your emotion. But mostly from childhood as well. It's, something, you've had a little bit of my childhood for those who have been listening to my videos. There's so much to tell. But those are some of the things that may be like really, really strong. Sometimes you become too strong that you don't need anybody in your life, which is bad. So that's what happened to me. I was there crying to my GP, and my GP is thinking, shall I give her medication? I look at my situation and I'm thinking, I don't think I want to go down that path yet. I think I can still handle this. And that's when my GP gave me 6 weeks off work. So the funny thing is, when I went to work to give my employer that later, a lot of people just thought that that's crazy. If there's anybody in this world who is always happy, who's always jovial, it's you. Always smiling and happy, it will be you. How can you be the person who needs 6 weeks off for being in low modes? People couldn't get it. People didn't understand it. It's confusing. So today what you're going to learn is that actually people who are going through hard times, depression, low moods, some people don't even know there's something like low moods. There's low moods and high stress. It's not really depression, they're different things. That's why you need to seek professional help and differentiate what you're going through and know what kind of help you need, right? So that people who can manage to survive, they can manage just to give the energy to getting to work and coming back home. So for instance, they can work from Monday to Friday. Come Friday, they can get into their house and lock it up, close the curtains, and they won't need to open it up until Monday morning when they need to go back to work. When they do that, they get home and they can turn their phones off. Like you call them and they're not there. If you are to go out that weekend, Saturday, you can't reach them. Turn it off. They're as good as, and their energy goes as far as being able to tell you, I'm fine, thank you. No, it's actually, hi, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. You try to probe any further, try to have a conversation, they're not letting you in. You can't go further than that. It's not gonna happen. It's just more of, I'm fine, thank you. And they're so good at diverting the attention, the conversation to something else. It will just take a different turn. They're not going to talk about themselves. No. And that's what depression is. Depression actually is when you go as far as you can't even manage to do your day-to-day activities. You can't even go to work. It goes as far as self-neglect, where you don't shower, you don't look after your dental health, dental hygiene. It goes as deep as that. But still, there's help. You have to know all those small triggers and stressors, right? Find out all those. If it's finances, deal with that and finish it. Don't let your stressors pile up. When they pile up, that's when you get into a very dark place, and coming out of that is really hard. When you go deep into depression, that's when you end up like losing your children or taking your life or their life. You have to be careful with that. not to get to that point, and that's why you need help. If there are any tips I'm going to tell you, is more clear: seek help before you get. You will need just that last trigger, just that last thing to do something awful. So you've got to be aware. Don't reach that point. Accept, admit to yourself that you need help. Go and get our help and take it. Take it and run with it, right? After you've not like realize what are your triggers are and stuff like that, make sure you surround yourself with positive people, right? You need people with positive energy around you, and you need people around you. Don't go like running away from people. You actually do need people. Try and let even one person in. Positive people. We human beings, we need positive reinforcement now and again. We feed off that. We need somebody to tell us, you know what, you're beautiful, you're intelligent, you're this, you're that, you're resilient. This is just part of your journey. You have to trust it. You have to trust it to the end. Good things will come out of this. You can't see it now, but it will happen eventually. You have to see all these things and believe in all those things, right? And if you can help yourself in any way, if there's any way you can help yourself, like the meditation, whatever you could do for yourself, force yourself, if you can, to just have that shower, to just go out anyway, have that sunshine. It will do you some good. Force yourself, just keep on doing it. For me, I managed to go out. You know what I did? After the doctor told me you can have some time off, your 6 week off, I told my employer about my 6 week off. Then I decided to go to Wales. I was like, I'm going out. Let me just get out, pop on in the train and get out of this place for a bit. So that's what I did. And what happened is, I knew how to fake the smile. I'd already learned it. I was good at it too. So I was there going to the train station. I'm on my phone, looking up on all those groups and talking on, doing all that. And then there was this gentleman who was smiling at me. And I don't know. I apparently smiled back. I don't know. So I was like that, and I smiled back. And then there was an announcement that the train's been cancelled. And you know what I did? I was like, not surprised. It's me. Everything wrong is just following me everywhere. That train has been cancelled because of me. But you know what? I don't care anymore. I've taken some time off. I'm going to relax. I'm going. So I start working with the rest of the people, still on my phone. I don't even know, because I don't hear too well. I didn't really know where they said which platform to go to, because that train had been cancelled. And I'm still there, and I'm thinking, where am I supposed to go? But this guy was still following me and smiling at me, and I don't even remember smiling back. And then they were talking about, where are you headed? And I was like, I think I was going to Newport at that time. I'm going to Newport. I was like, I'm moving to Cardiff. I've lived blah, blah, blah. I'm going blah, blah, blah. And we started talking. I didn't realize we were talking, and we started talking. And then we talked all the way in the train. And before I got off, he had the guards to ask me for my number. And I wish to say, as they say, the rest is history, but the rest is not totally history. But he gave me the next beautiful 1 year after that. Yeah, a beautiful relationship came out from that. He helped me with all these problems that I was going through, all this after the accident, the car insurance calling me with my hearing. Those things used to stress me out. They're trying to call me, car insurance, finance. They're trying to sort this because my car got written off. And I couldn't handle it, but there he was, my miracle. I used to call him, my sunshine. He just brought my angel. He just brought some nice vibes to my life for the next year. So what am I saying? Trust in your journey. Good things will come. Sometimes you won't see them coming, but you just got to believe and hold on. Don't let yourself sleep for your own sake, for your family's sake. If you have children, do it for those little kids or viewers. Just look after yourself as much as possible. Discussion for today: what do you think our parents did that helped them survive during these hard times? They didn't have so much information like we do, but they managed to do it. My mom, 5 children, single parent, how did she do it? I think it's her spirituality. She had her anchor in her faith, and that's how she managed to survive. Thank you. Do participate in the discussion. I'd like to hear from you, and I'd like to hear what you'd like us to continue discussing in this series. And my recommendation, please do use the some of the apps I recommend, or find some apps that work for you, but do those baby little steps to help you through difficult times. And do share. You don't know who you might help. Don't forget to subscribe, and bye.